If I told you that Wayne Rooney wasn't just an English football legend, but once lived like a rock star in the heart of the Premier League, would you believe it? From a £20 million mansion and roaring supercars to headline-making party nights, Rooney rose to the peak of fame under blinding lights and suffocating pressure. But behind the historic goals were affairs, off-field controversies, and moments that nearly dragged his entire career into the abyss. Discover 7 shocking truths about Wayne Rooney, and the final revelation might make you rethink his entire legacy. Rebel Prodigy: the turbulent yet legendary life of Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney was born on October 24, 1985, in Croxteth, Liverpool, a place where football wasn't a weekend hobby, but the only escape from poverty. The son of Thomas Wayne Rooney and Jeanette Marie Rooney, a working-class Irish family, he grew up among grey housing blocks and cracked concrete pitches with one dream: get out through football. No elite academy privilege, no built-in platform. Just a boy fueled by aggression and a burning need to be recognized. Joining Everton's academy, Rooney stood out almost instantly. At 16, he made his Premier League debut with an assist against Tottenham Hotspur. But destiny struck in a match against Arsenal, an 89th-minute rocket that ended the Gunners' 30-game unbeaten run. At 16 years and 360 days old, Rooney became the youngest scorer in Premier League history at the time. England no longer saw a prospect. They saw a phenomenon. In 2004, he moved to Manchester United for a record fee for a teenager. On his Champions League debut, Rooney scored a hat-trick. No easing in, no introductions, just stepping onto the stage and taking it. Over more than a decade at Old Trafford, he won 5 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League, and scored 253 goals to become the club's all-time leading scorer. Rooney wasn't an artist, he was a warrior. Thunderous volleys, that iconic bicycle kick in the Manchester Derby. He didn't just score goals, he finished games. For England, Rooney debuted at 17. Euro 2004 turned him into a global sensation. He played fearlessly, carrying the weight of a nation. He later became England's all-time top scorer, until the record was broken. Yet major international glory always seemed to slip away. A cruel paradox. Rooney's career wasn't all glory. He faced personal scandals, criticism for his temper, and relentless pressure from the British media, the kind that can crush superstars. But every time doubt surrounded him, Rooney responded the only way he knew how: with goals. He wasn't perfect. He was real. Flaws, scars, and resilience included. Toward the end of his playing career, Rooney moved to the United States with DC United before transitioning into management. His coaching career hasn't yet reached the heights of his playing days, but the Croxteth mentality remains. Blunt, relentless, never asking for favors. And what made Wayne Rooney truly dangerous? He wasn't born to be a hero, yet he forced England to crown him one. And his story isn't over. New battles, new controversies, new chances at redemption still lie ahead. With Rooney, the final chapter was never pre-written, and perhaps the best part is still being written. Glory and darkness. The side of Wayne Rooney. Few dare to talk about some players are remembered for trophies, some for goals. Wayne Rooney, he's remembered for both the glory and the long nights that followed when the lights went out. From Everton's 16-year-old prodigy, Rooney exploded onto the scene like destiny itself, then lived through controversy, pressure, and moments that nearly broke him. His career was never a straight line. It was a violent film: genius, rebellion, collision, and comeback. In In 2004, just after turning 18, Rooney was caught in his first prostitution scandal. The image of the golden boy cracked overnight. The British press showed no mercy. Massive talent paired with a chaotic private life, a formula the tabloids couldn't resist. But the real shock came in 2010. Cut at the peak of his powers with Manchester United in England, Rooney was exposed for cheating with a prostitute while his wife was pregnant. The 2010 World Cup turned into a nightmare. His form dipped. The pressure suffocated him. England began to ask the question, did Rooney truly have the character to carry the legacy placed on his shoulders? That same year, he stunned the football world by publicly declaring he wanted to leave Manchester United, claiming the club lacked ambition. Fans turned on him. Sir Alex Ferguson had to personally manage the crisis. Rooney eventually signed a new record-breaking contract, but the image of the loyal son was permanently fractured. The scandals didn't stop. Partying during international duty. Photos of him intoxicated circulating online. In 2017, Rooney was arrested for drink driving, a national icon in handcuffs, a moment that convinced many his story might end in regret. Yet what separates Wayne Rooney isn't that he fell. It's that he kept scoring after every fall. He became Manchester United's all-time leading scorer. He held England's scoring record until Harry Kane surpassed it. Rooney's genius always walked hand in hand with recklessness. He wasn't the polished, media-trained superstar. He was hot-tempered, blunt, sometimes self-destructive. But that raw edge made him more real than any carefully manufactured icon. In modern football, where every action is brand-managed, Rooney belongs to a different era. Pure talent, raw instinct, and very public mistakes. The question isn't whether Rooney had scandals. The real question is, if you erase those scars, would Wayne Rooney still be the Wayne Rooney England once loved and once felt betrayed by? Because sometimes, legends aren't written in perfection. They're written in the way you rise after you fall. Inside Rooney's $170 million empire, castles, villas, and eye-popping numbers. At his peak at Manchester United, Wayne Rooney earned over £300,000 a week, a figure capable of changing a life in just a few months. But wages were never his ceiling. They were only the thin surface of a fortune built on cold strategy and long-term vision. Behind the lights of Old Trafford stood multi-million-dollar deals with Nike, Coca-Cola, EA Sports, and a roster of global brands. Rooney didn't just score against defenders, he scored in the international advertising market. From the pitch to game consoles, from promotional posters to worldwide campaigns, his image became a revenue-generating asset. The money flowed in steadily, precisely, much like the trademark finishes that defined his name. The result? An estimated net worth of around $170 million. Proof of more than a decade at the top, both in performance and commercial power. Rooney didn't just earn money, he built a system, and when the cash poured in, he didn't chase short-term extravagance. He converted income into control through real estate. At the heart of his empire stands a £20 million mansion in Cheshire, a modern-day castle complete with an indoor pool, private cinema, professional-grade gym, and high-level security. It isn't built to impress, it's built to protect. A fortress shielding his family from the relentless media glare and the scandals that once surrounded his career. In Barbados, Rooney owns a £5 million villa, both a private retreat and a profitable asset, reportedly generating up to £100,000 per month in rental income. As early as 2007, he purchased an apartment in Florida for £320,000, a move that showed long-term investment thinking well before his career reached its peak. And it doesn't stop there. Rooney has bought, sold, and restructured properties, managed image-based businesses, and transformed fame into a fully functioning financial ecosystem. Trophies may sit in museum cabinets, but the financial empire Wayne Rooney built with money and strategy, that's a quieter victory, colder, and arguably more enduring than the goals that once shook England. Wayne Rooney and his roaring supercar collection. When speed became a statement of a legend. If real estate is the foundation of power, then supercars are how Rooney expresses his personality on the streets. His garage isn't just a place to park vehicles. It's a map of ambition, speed, and the different chapters of his life. At the top in value sits the Lamborghini Gallardo, around $300,000 when new. A symbol of Rooney's explosive peak at Manchester United. A roaring V10 engine, razor-sharp design. This car was never built for humility. It mirrors the thunderous volleys he used to score. Violent, sudden, unstoppable. Right behind it stands the Aston Martin Vanquish, around $250,000, representing cold, refined British elegance. If the Lamborghini embodied rebellious youth, the Vanquish reflected maturity. Powerful but controlled. Next comes the Bentley Continental GT, around $210,000, a luxury grand tourer for those who've already reached the summit. This is the image of a more settled Rooney, wealthier, steadier, fully aware of his status. In the high-end SUV category are the Range Rover Overfinch, around $170,000, and the Range Rover Sport, around $120,000. Machines built for family life, discreet yet commanding. No longer about turning heads, but about security and control behind the wheel. Then there's the BMW i8, around $150,000 at launch. A symbol of innovation and the future. Proof that Rooney wasn't just obsessed with speed, but also appreciated evolution and technology. From a $300,000 Italian supercar to dependable family SUVs, the collection mirrors Rooney's journey. From a fiery kid in Croxteth to a man who controls his own pace. Because for Wayne Rooney, home is where he stands firm. But the streets? That's where his true personality speaks. From the skies to the sea. Rooney's luxury life on private jets and superyachts. When money is no longer the goal but a tool, the way Wayne Rooney travels says everything about his status. Beyond controlling life on land with mansions and supercars, Rooney stepped into spaces where time and distance no longer exist as obstacles. The sky and the open sea. At the peak of his career with Manchester United and the England national team, Rooney frequently used private jets for family trips and professional commitments. Chartering, or operating through fractional ownership, is a familiar choice among Premier League superstars. The cost of hiring a mid-size private jet in Europe typically ranges between $5,000 and $8,000 per flight hour. In return, he gets absolute privacy. No queues, no commercial schedules, no cameras waiting at the gate. For Rooney, flying private isn't about showing wealth. It's about shrinking the gap between the pressure of elite football and the peace of family life. At 30,000 feet, he isn't Manchester United's icon. He's a father, a husband, a man reclaiming rare hours in the middle of a relentless calendar. If jets allow Rooney to move faster than the world, yachts give him the power to step away from it entirely. During holidays in Ibiza, Dubai, or Barbados, Rooney has been seen aboard luxury yachts, vessels typically chartered for $150,000 to $400,000 per week depending on size and services. Wide sun decks, private cabins, onboard chefs, and a 24/7 crew. But not for loud parties or spectacle. For Rooney, days at sea represent rare silence in a career constantly under scrutiny. On a yacht, there are no stadiums, no headlines, no pressure to score, only family, close friends, and the sound of waves, a form of luxury no trophy can guarantee. Wayne Rooney once shook England with volleys and overhead kicks, but off the pitch, the way he chooses to travel, from private jets to superyachts, reveals another level of power. The freedom to move fast, to pause, and to disappear when he chooses. That is the true mark of an icon. Behind the headlines, the truth about Wayne Rooney's charity work. Wayne Rooney may have stirred controversy with his fiery personality and off-field scandals, but behind the bad boy image lies a side far less discussed: consistent, meaningful, charitable work. From early in his career, Rooney supported children's causes in Liverpool, the city where he was born and raised. He donated millions of pounds to local children's hospitals, particularly Alder Hey Children's Hospital, where he served as an ambassador and regularly visited young patients without media fanfare. In 2016, Rooney launched the Wayne Rooney Foundation, focusing on disadvantaged children and rare diseases. Through charity matches and partnerships with organizations such as UNICEF, he helped raise significant funds for education and healthcare projects in the UK and abroad. One of his most notable gestures was his 2016 testimonial match between Manchester United and Everton, with all proceeds donated to 4 different charities. It wasn't a farewell spectacle. It was Rooney turning his status into opportunity for others. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Rooney and his family also supported food programs and local relief funds, especially in Merseyside, a region heavily impacted by economic hardship. Rooney never tried to craft a heroic public image. He didn't turn charity into a branding campaign. But amid the noise and controversy, he quietly returned to where he started, helping children like the boy he once was find a way forward. He may have shocked the world on the pitch, but off it, what he gives back has been far quieter and far more enduring. And perhaps that is the least talked about part of Wayne Rooney's legacy. Wayne Rooney has never been a safe name. From the 16-year-old prodigy who shook the Premier League, to a legend at Manchester United, and now a controversial figure navigating life on the touchline, his journey has always lived between glory and pressure. Can Rooney reinvent himself once again and build a new legacy as a manager? Or is this the most unforgiving chapter of his career? Where do you think Rooney's future is headed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the stories behind the bright lights of elite football.